Hey everyone, and welcome. We're diving into one of the biggest questions in business today. How do we stop just talking about AI and actually start using it to grow? Let's jump right in.
So, picture this. Your boss comes to you and says, "We need an AI strategy." Sound familiar? The pressure's on, but honestly, where do you even start? It can feel a little overwhelming. But don't worry, that's exactly what we're going to break down today. A real framework to answer that question.
So how do we get from that vague, "we need AI" feeling to a solid plan? Well, the trick is to stop chasing every shiny new AI tool that pops up in your newsfeed. It's about taking a step back from all the hype and building a plan that's actually designed for your business and your problems.
Okay, so where does a real plan actually begin? It all starts with discovery. Before you can even dream up solutions, you've got to have a systematic way to figure out where AI can actually make a difference. Where can it add some serious value?
This right here is your secret weapon, the AI Opportunity Assessment. Think of it like a full-on audit of your entire company, and I mean everything. You're looking under every rock, examining customer interactions, internal processes, like how do you resolve support tickets, all your data analysis, every single process where AI could step in and save time, cut costs, or just make things better.
And this isn't just some random exercise. It gives us a really clear path forward in 4 simple steps. First, you map out your current processes. You got to see how work actually gets done right now. Then, you score each potential opportunity. Is it a big win? Is it going to be hard to implement? That lets you prioritize what to tackle first. And then, and only then, you can build your roadmap. See? It's a logical flow.
All right, so you've identified your best shots, your golden opportunities. But now comes the really critical part. You have to prove it's worth the money and the effort. This is where we go from cool ideas to a rock-solid business case by actually putting some numbers on the value AI is going to deliver. This is where you start speaking the language of business. We're not talking about fuzzy benefits anymore. We're talking about real, hard numbers. How many hours are we going to save every single week? How many actual dollars can we cut from the budget? What new revenue can this unlock? And what about quality? Can we measure the gains in accuracy? These are the numbers that get a project the green light. But here's a pro tip, and it's a big one. Data by itself isn't always enough. You have to wrap those awesome numbers in a compelling story. You need to explain why this matters, how it's going to make someone's job better, and really paint a clear picture of what the future looks like. That's what gets people excited and on board. Okay. So you've found the opportunities, you've calculated the value, you've even crafted a great story around it. Now what? Well, now it's time to turn all of that into a concrete action plan and actually bring this strategy to life. Your action plan really boils down to 3 main things. First, you do that deep dive audit we talked about. That's your discovery. It tells you the what and the where. Second, you use what you found to build a practical 6-month roadmap. You want to focus on some quick wins to get the ball rolling. And finally, you package it all up and present it to your stakeholders to get that all-important buy-in.
And finally, let's just zoom out for a second and talk about the mindset you need for all of this to work in the long run. These are the guiding principles that are going to keep your AI journey on track and make sure it's delivering value for years to come.
So let's recap the winning formula. First, it all starts with that deep assessment. You've got to know where you are before you can figure out where you're going. Then, you make the business case undeniable with real ROI. You get everyone on board by telling a powerful story with that data. And finally, you start small. Get some early wins on the board to build momentum. That's how you make real change happen. And that really just leaves us with one last question to think about. This whole AI transformation thing, it isn't some big one-time event. It's a journey. So, looking at your own world, what's the first small win? The first step you can take this week to get started?